Dun, 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 dun. What? Dun, dun, dun.
Skyfall.
I don't know what he just did either.
Oh, okay.
Skyfall. It's been 50 years of James Bond.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
That's why this movie's a big deal.
It's always a big deal. It's James Bond.
Yeah.
So, as you can tell by my sort of meh face, I'm not really looking forward to this.
I am. I am too. So is he. He only got 2 hours of sleep last night, but he's okay.
Big shocker. I don't like Daniel Craig as James Bond.
I don't like Daniel Craig as Daniel Craig.
I like Daniel Craig as James Bond.
I haven't seen any.
Casino Royale. Quantum of Solace was like.
Quantum of Solace was totally forgettable.
It was a mess.
Casino Royale was meh.
I really like Casino.
I thought Casino Royale was okay.
I mean,
I haven't seen it in a while though.
Movies have always surprised me. I felt the exact same way with Mission Impossible 4, and I ended up...
Mission Impossible 4. Oh my
really
god, I
liked
love
that
that movie. That was so good.
I enjoyed that movie. But with this, I mean, I don't want to say anything about Daniel Craig. I haven't seen any of his movies. I really want to see Love is the Devil, just to see. Apparently that was one of his biggest roles. I don't know.
Other than that, I guess...
I just, no, I don't want to... I don't know.
But we're going in open-minded?
Yeah,
Ready for
well,
anything?
You are.
I am. I'm excited. I want to see the guy who plays Q.
I don't know. He looks silly.
Okay. We're gonna go now. Look, there's a lineup and everything.
Ben Wishaw. Oh, this is our line.
Except they just left.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
The advanced lineup for the movie just left.
Oh, apparently this is a big deal.
In front of me, just like.
That's how I see him a little bit. Hey, it currently has an 8.1 on IMDb.
Well, IMDb
go straight
is
to the
IMDb.
popcorn.
Stands for it's
Internet Movie Database.
That's what it stands for.
It's mediocrely dependable. Am I right?
2, 3, 2, 1. Skyfall!
Okay.
Okay, so James Bond.
James Bond, Skyfall.
50
James
years
Bond.
of James
It's
Bond.
50 years of James Bond.
I'm not 50 yet.
Me neither. I'm 15.
Oh, well, we've ruined it. All of our
What's that?
viewers think that we're 50.
Oh, good background. We have seen most of the movies.
We've seen a good few.
Oh, well.
I've seen a good few.
Well,
You've
I
seen a
haven't
good few.
really seen very many of them, actually.
We had
Not
a
very
thing.
many at all.
It was a
Granted, it's
thing.
been a
A weekly
while.
Bond movie thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a man of my word. It was a very well done James Bond.
I think so.
I thought it was very
definitely the
good.
best
Very
of
good.
what I've seen.
Which is
Yeah.
mostly Daniel Craig.
I feel like these 3 Daniel Craig movies, more than other Bonds, they belong together in a sense.
Okay.
That's just me though.
So I guess you'll be looking at it from a James Bond perspective. I'll be looking at it from a purely movies perspective.
Cool.
Okay.
So plot.
Plot. Let's
Plot?
see.
James Bond does stuff. No.
So
Really starts right inside of an action scene.
yeah, it starts in an action scene, and James Bond dies. Oh no!
Yay! For me, it was yay because I just don't like Daniel Craig as
I
Bond.
thought he did a pretty good job this time.
James Bond. Daniel Craig was good, but not great as James Bond in this. But
Good.
well, I'm in. I guess we'll
His
talk
witty
about that in
banter was
actors.
delivered pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, the whole plot of this is some evil dude has gotten all of the people from MI6, all of the secret agents,
Yeah,
and he's
like, "Ooh, I'm gonna release them out on the YouTube."
I think it's almost
and
just a
everyone's gonna
revenge
see it.
scheme to get down.
yeah.
Yeah, this one guy, he like used to be an agent. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you in," and I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah. So basically, James Bond has to go search him out.
Yeah.
And
It's very
that's-
epic though. They pulled out all the stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a lot of.
What I found was interesting about it, I found it had a rocky start. I found the
It did.
part.
But the beginning felt slow.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it felt very slow. With him, like, just, I was just seeing, like, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. He sucks now that he's died.
Old and
He's old.
Fashioned.
Ralph Fiennes is telling him, oh, blah, 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 you're not good. You're an inanimate effing
Ralph Fiennes
object.
is cool.
Yeah, he was great. And so, and it just got better and better and
It did
better
get better and better.
until you get to one
Probably
part.
peaked in London. In the London action scene.
Yeah, I really peaked in London, in which then we get into one part in which was like half Commando and half Home Alone, in which I was thinking, wow, this is actually getting really good. And I was pleasantly, a lot of things I was really surprised at. I really liked how this came forth.
They played it more like a Bond movie this time, more than the other two movies. The last two, they were trying to separate, I guess,
Okay.
and be more modern. But this one, they had some little homages, some nods to old movies, and it kind of, you know, there's characters introduced. But like when he talks to Q, he's like, "Oh, these aren't fancy gadgets," and Q says, "What'd you expect? An exploding pen?"
That was in one of the other games.
Oh, okay. I feel so horrible that I haven't. Like, I mean, I know.
Yeah, references other movies, but I didn't feel like it was like.
It wasn't like
old movies.
And they do have some backstory in it too, which I think.
Okay, about that.
They went a little
about
bit.
the backstory.
So this is the thing you said you didn't like.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I feel like I kind of shouldn't say anything about it because again, I haven't seen very many. I have seen James Bond movies. I've seen bits and pieces of some. I saw the first half of Die Another Day, which I didn't really remember as being very good. Perfect. I saw some bits of some of the 70s and 80s James Bonds, in which I thought were pretty good. But here's my theory on how James Bond should work. That on the character at least, that he should just be an idea more than a man. That
more of a symbol.
Yeah, more of a symbol.
And the James Bond name was an alias.
Yeah, exactly. That James Bond should be an alias. It shouldn't be a name. That's why that also takes part of the character, the actor thing. That like, I don't mind the fact that Daniel Craig playing James Bond is blonde, or that he's Scottish or Irish or anything.
Like I think I heard a rumor at some point that the next James Bond character won't necessarily be white.
I don't care.
Like
if he can do it, sure.
Yeah. Like
that would be great.
I
don't. Yeah. I mean, if he can pull it off, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't go too far. Like, I mean, if it's like an obese slob, I don't know, or he just like, I'm drained.
He's gotta have the character.
But then he wouldn't even
keep the character.
Wouldn't pass the physical test.
Be true. I mean, if he's just like, I don't know, if he just always asleep, like just
always asleep.
Well, I don't know.
I think we're off track.
Yeah, like just some slobby Texan. I don't know. I'm going really off track.
So in the backstory, it does show a lot of things about his past and childhood.
Yes. I don't like that.
It doesn't get too specific.
I think it does.
No, I mean, like, it doesn't get as, like,
there's
horribly
no
specific. It doesn't get horribly specific, but it does go a little bit too far. I think
it goes incredibly.
I think if you've seen all the other movies and you see what's coming up, especially Casino Royale, like, all this is kind of fitting like a puzzle in my head now. Casino Royale was the first Bond story by
Ian
Fleming. That was the first Bond story, and it shows him being promoted to a 00 agent.
Oh, okay.
And then Quantum of Solace, I remember in the old Roger Moore Bond movies, they talk about him having a love who he really loved, and didn't just, one night thing. And then she died. I think that's what Quantum of Solace was about.
Was that why he was so sooky at that part? That was the one
that's
thing
all
I
remember too.
about that.
Whether or not it was done right is another thing, but the fact that it fits into the whole thing. And then Skyfall, we get a bit of the backstory of his childhood, and it kind of fits into the puzzling completely.
So you're saying that this is more of an origin story?
Partially.
Okay. But
it does actually. Thinking about the climax, no spoilers. It kind of does. At that point, I kind of realized. At the very end, I realized. Wait a minute. This was all an origin story. You don't think it though.
But the thing is, they play it too much like an origin story. I don't know. As a completely casual fan of this, I think I don't like. I don't know. It's just my idea of how the character should be.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Yeah, I feel like this movie above the other ones kind of rewarded you for following all the movies more than the last two.
Okay, that's great.
With everything about it, the nods and the backstory, it's kind of like, oh great, we finally get to learn more about James Bond.
Yeah.
After years and years of just Mysterious Man.
Yeah.
50 years in fact.
You should talk about actors.
Oh yeah, let's
I
go
really
into
like
this.
the actors in this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Daniel
Not a lot
Craig
of people.
is good. Again, I just don't like. I think it. Whoa, that was weird. It felt like some weird atmosphere just changed. Maybe it's just me. But whoa. Anyway, I don't like Daniel Craig as James Bond.
I thought he did pretty good. I'm okay with James.
He was the best in I've seen him. That's all I can say.
Top of his game.
Yeah, but in the few amounts of James Bond clips I've seen, like, I mean, I say that I haven't seen any James Bond movies. I've seen, like, I think I've seen bits and pieces of almost all of the actors who played James Bond.
Okay.
So, and I just don't like. I don't think Timothy Dalton did a very good job.
He only did like 2 movies, one or 2 movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think Timothy Dalton did a good job.
He was different.
Yeah.
Granted, Daniel Craig didn't really stand out a whole lot for me actor-wise in this movie.
No.
As opposed to like Javier Bardem.
Yeah, we'll talk. I think I'll talk to him about him last.
Okay.
Judi
Dench.
Judi Dench
plays
M. She did a very good job.
This was her role. Like she was a minor role in other movies. This movie was her like.
Yeah.
This is her.
And she's a great actress, and it really shows.
You
here.
really feel for her.
Yeah, it's James Bond's story, but it's also M's story, and she's just, you see a lot of scenes just with James and M just talking, and
they have really good chemistry talking to each other.
Really good chemistry. Like just one moment they're just, well, they're always constantly cracking jokes to each other, just all at the other's expense.
Most of the jokes are actually they actually land.
Yeah. The ones between those two always land.
Yeah, they're really good. The new Q. Who is he?
The new Q, Ben Whishaw, I think.
He's alright. I liked him.
I thought he was pretty cool.
He was cool. Yep.
He's a cool guy.
Yep. I mean, no John Cleese, but fun.
John Cleese.
Ralph Fiennes did a good job.
Yeah, he did a good job. Ralph Fiennes is cool.
Yeah, but
Eve.
She was forgettable.
Yeah.
But the
the girl who killed Bond.
Oh my god.
Take the blood shot.
But the one character.
She was only
the one character.
I want to talk. Oh yeah.
I'll just mention that Eve was. She could have been better. She could have been played up more. But she was just.
I killed you.
She wasn't.
Okay. Well,
she wasn't.
She was in the movie throughout, but she was kind of just played down.
She was just kind of like, here I am. Goodbye.
She was very much a sidekick.
Exactly.
A little bit, yeah. She wasn't totally useless.
No. Really?
Not totally.
Except for those tiny moments where she is needed.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But the main thing, oh man.
This guy.
What this film did so incredibly well was the villain. Man. I loved this. What I think a James Bond film should have is memorable moments. It needs like a memorable scene. It needs
memorable.
If you're going to go for 50 years, you need to keep it.
And a memorable villain.
Yes.
I think with
this guy.
Talk about Casino Royale all you want. The one thing I remember about the villain is that he had. Well, I don't even remember his name, but he had. But he. Oh, thank you. He cried blood. I don't even know what he did. Well, he played poker well.
He gambled.
Yeah.
And he was tears.
And he was a terrorist.
Okay, he was a terrorist.
A terrorist.
Was he the dude that tortured James Balls?
Yeah, that was him.
Oh, okay. But anyway.
He was a memorable villain.
Yeah.
He was pretty memorable, yeah.
Oh, man.
Quantum of Solace, to say that the opposite, I don't even remember.
I don't even remember. I didn't even know.
Did that one even have a villain?
I think he did. I'm starting to picture a face.
I can't remember.
I can't tell you anything about him. He was just a person.
But Javier Bardem,
oh man,
he does so well.
What was? I think his name was Mr. Silver.
Mr. Silva.
I think at one point M said.
Well,
Thiago Rodriguez, ex-agent, also known as Mr. Silva.
Ex-agent. He was like.
Oh, we don't want to say anything.
It's just him. He's going on.
We don't want to say anything.
But he's so good. He's intimidating.
He is crazy.
Crazy, eccentric,
very eccentric.
Everything that like other things that I don't really want to spoil.
He is like,
he's so good.
If I had to make a comparison, he is
the Batman
James Bond's Joker.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is.
There's parts of this that I was thinking, wow, this is exactly what the Joker would do.
And you know what? I was going to comment on one scene early on. in the script, they didn't tell Javier Bardem if the character was gay or not.
And that was actually the one
So
scene
they kind of left it to be
I didn't really. I thought that was the opening scene with him.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, really? This is how they're gonna introduce the villain?
He's crazy.
I don't know. I didn't really like that one scene because I was thinking, okay, is it supposed to be unintentional or intentional? If it was unintentional, it was hilarious.
It's left for your interpretation.
If it was intentional, I wasn't really fond of it.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but every other scene.
Shows how crazy.
But the next scene was incredibly suspenseful, and every other scene after that was really good. Every scene.
The suspense really just builds and builds out the movie. It gets better and better.
And he's one of those villains. It's like he's not going to kill James Bond right away because he's going to
because he wants to have fun.
He's gonna put on a show and make a statement. It's so great.
And he passed my popcorn villain test. At the end of it, you want to see him die.
It's true.
You do.
Yeah. And like I remember when we first saw the villain and we see him. I turned to you and I said, "Wait, that's it?" But I mean, like that's another great thing about this film. It keeps you guessing.
That's true. You don't really know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. It just so. Music was the soundtrack.
Music was good.
Very
good.
I really liked the soundtrack.
The music was very good.
Good record with that.
Yeah.
Adele's theme song was
good. I really liked the visuals during this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I never understand the intro.
I looked at Quinn
visuals.
and I was like, I never understand these things. Like what? It's like
Skyfall
there's
song.
pictures of James Bond, and there's like
big hands picking him up. And he's like shooting his own shadow.
Yeah, there's
and
guns and there's women. And
it's always symbolism. You know exactly when you see something and you're like, okay, that's going to be in the climax. That's going to be in the climax. Oh, you see that? Oh, okay, it's a school. Okay, that's going to be in the climax. Oh, I'm just making this up. That's going to be in the climax. Oh, okay, finger puppets. Oh, that's going to be in the climax. Oh, giant CGI turtle. Oh, that's going to be in the climax. That was actually in it.
It's not that specific.
Did you see that? Did you see the giant CGI turtle?
Oh, the Komodo dragon.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Oh, that was hilarious.
That was a little turtle. That was a little weird though.
He jumped on. James Bond is Mario. He jumped on it.
I'll let them get away after seeing past movies. This one was played a lot better than past movies. Let's just put it that way.
Wasn't there one scene in which we find out that James Bond is a xenomorph because he threw his own piss at someone and his face melted off?
What? Okay. I don't remember that.
Okay, maybe I haven't seen any James Bond movie.
Okay. Yeah, the Komodo dragon thing was a little like what?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
But it kept the movie interesting. Like, it was
even
something that hadn't been done recently, at least.
Yeah. I mean, actually, last review, Wreck-It Ralph, you saw John. He was like me a couple hours ago. He wasn't really fond of seeing Skyfall. He heard Adele's song, and he was just like, whoa, I need to see this, and I was like, really?
The song doesn't really tell you what the movie's gonna be like.
Yeah, but
only by the fact that the song is kind of noticeable. Like, I don't remember the song from any of the last Bond movie. I don't remember what the song was or who it was by. But this one was by Adele, and the song was good.
The song
is like, I recognize it, so just like the movie.
Yeah, it did very well.
This movie left an impression.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in Die Another Day, that song was terrible.
Oh yeah, it was like Madonna or something.
It was so bad. Casino Royale's song was really good.
Yeah, I remember the Casino Royale intro being
I can't remember the Quantum of Solace one.
Exactly.
I don't remember anything from Quantum of Solace.
Same here. We should join a club.
We should actually watch the movie.
No. I'm gonna fall asleep again.
I'm going to.
Oh, fall asleep?
No. Well, yeah, later. But...
Oh, okay. Well, like sometime in your life, fall asleep. Okay. Bottom line, I enjoyed it. It was a surprise.
I thought. One thing I wanted to say. I really liked the cinematography.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it did a lot of really pretty looking shots.
Yeah.
There was one action scene.
Really
thinking of the glass building.
Yes.
That was so I was like, man, this is so stylish.
Yeah, I was thinking, Taken 2. Take notes, because the fight scenes in this are very well done. Yeah. And I just realized that.
It's just silhouettes and you see them in the glass.
Yeah, that was really good.
I remember that.
Cool.
I really liked all the shots that they played with and how they
Yeah.
They really got to use a range of settings too. Like it wasn't just in one place.
Yeah, they took you to
too.
yeah. They took you to Shanghai, they took you to London, they took you to Scotland, they took you everywhere.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah. So
really good.
I liked this movie. I highly I mean, you've probably already seen it, but I recommend it.
New James Bond movie, just go see it. Yeah, it was really good.
No, this one was definitely up there. Like, it was one of the best ones.
Yeah, I don't have any point of reference.
So again, like you said, after 50 years, like, you have to keep making impressions and stuff.
Yeah.
And this definitely does it.
So, but that said, please, I don't want to see more Daniel Craig as James Bond.
I like Daniel Craig as Bond, but this movie really felt like the end of a trilogy.
No more Daniel Craig as James Bond.
Yeah.
I want to see other movies with Daniel Craig in it, though.
I want to see someone else be James Bond. Someone, like, maybe like the rumors, like, have a James Bond who's a different, some other race or something.
Yeah. And that'd be cool.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, like, that would be interesting because he could, I don't know, play different.
Something.
As long as they keep the character and the symbol the same.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera is James
shaken,
Bond.
Not stirred.
Shaken nuts. Shaken nuts. Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Okay.
That's bad.
Oh, I'm Bond.
I'm James Bond. Oh my God, that's so bad.
I half want to see it just as a spoon.
Still be better than Quantum of Solace.
Live an impression.
Well, I mean, you'll remember it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it'll be half the movie will be spent trying to find the girl. Oh man. Anyway.
Look, I don't like guns. Okay, I just really want to shoot you.
I don't want to shoot you. I'm not even supposed to. I just want to know who you're working for.
Can we just sit down
my bedtime, okay?
Can we just sit down and like talk this over and chill out and stuff?
Where's Wallace when you need him?
Oh my God. Anyway,
that'd be great.
I guess
Scott and Wallace going around.
Oh man.
Oh, would you just shoot him, Scott? I can't.
Can't.
So hard.
Okay.
All right, this is just getting ridiculous.
Yeah,
okay.
for tonight.
Close the camera.
Why does this happen every time?
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm supposed to wave. Happy Remembrance Day or something.